Love one. One.
We are back with the women's singles.
Really, really heavy and really, really powerful. And generally these Chinese players are very, very strong against choppers. And I don't expect this to be a whole solid from the back with her chop. Attack really isn't there yet, but her defense is very consistent.
Lu Ying is with Lily Zhang with Wang Chen from New York, who's coming back on the men's side, as all the women's seeds have continued to just hold their position in the last match to get to the quarterfinals. And Lu Ying beat Diana Zhang.
6-3.
And that's the part of Angela's game that hasn't really come around quite yet, although she had a pick hit there. But her attack game isn't anywhere.
Her defense and her ability to retrieve balls is improving along with the attack. I know she surprised a lot of people by winning the Dayton Open over Samson Dabina, which you think like he would be able to. A great story there, really a super athlete fighting hard and the attitude of a champion of
8-5. 5-9.
the loop. And the fact that the tables are tending to hold the ball down a little bit. I think that's giving Angela just a little bit more stickiness on her ball. Match.
And 11-5. First game to Guan. 11-5.
That you have some leverage to get under the ball.
Yep.
But when they pop up a little bit, you're kind of in between strokes. Unfortunately, with Ying Lu, she might actually set up that ball. And that ball is so heavy. Ling. That's a nice forehand combination there. And there's a fault.
Fault was for Sean?
Not really sure. I just hope.
I know she got warned earlier, but I wasn't. It's hard to hear from here exactly what
the
issue
reason
was.
is.
Yeah, warning before. I'm just not sure what it was.
4-3.
That's a beautiful set of blocks, and now little kind of soft forehand hit there. And that's where you just see the heavy tops.
Ying Lu so far, because it doesn't when Ying Lu hits the ball, it doesn't seem like it's super heavy until it touches your racket, and then it's really heavy.
And Angela's. You can just see Angela taking all these small little session. Oh, that's a nice third ball attack there. By I think, Corey, anytime you're on the center court, especially against a defensive player, when you have a lead.
This is like at Wimbledon, they call, like, I think it's court 2, they call it graveyard court. And that's what court 1 has been so far here at the Nationals. It's been like the graveyard court where the favorite hasn't won yet.
Oh,
7, 8.
first game. Oh, that ball has so much spin. And a
8, 9.
missed service by
10, 8.
and now and Angela Guan
Same game to Guan.
takes game number 2.
Love 1.
Netball to some of the players that have watched the other web streams of USA table tennis sanctioned events. If you watch, you remember.
Oh, what an attack by Angela, Sean.
I mentioned Corey, because I remember watching from the North American Team Championships, and we saw Lee Ki-wei play that match against Timothy Wong recently, and how a looper and chopper, sometimes the looper can have to deal with their own spin, and Angela's done such a great job here of just returning these super heavy loops. I would anticipate a response to everything that's come her way. Oh, that's a nice backhand attack. Oh, that's a bigger forehand by Ying Lu.
More of get her out to the forehand side, then bring her back to the backhand side. But Angela doesn't really give her a lot of opportunities to do that either.
And I think with Angela playing against a lefty and playing a lot of those first balls a little bit wider to the forehand, where that down the line ball just doesn't create that same angle. It's like right now going, and that's a, boy, those chops are so heavy. There's out to the forehand and then just loading it up, but
1.
And she's so cute. I think it's so cool.
well, I think, Corey, it also goes very similar on the Team Guan side to be able to go back into the corner and have mom giving you advice as well. Appreciative of all the efforts from the coaches. And that's a nice forehand smash. Angela almost got it back.
She really does have such a chopper's demeanor, doesn't she? She's always so
What a
calm.
great return by. Oh! What a combination there by. Great presence of mind to stay with the offense. I think, Corey, you were absolutely right earlier to say that that has adds so much more of a dimension to the sport for her. You simply can't just loop and push. You've got to loop and pay attention because those attacks are coming. And there's the heavy spin.
6, 5.
That was, it just got out of hand, and it looks like
Come out. Low.
Ying Lu wants to call a timeout. And oh, that's not the way you want to come out of a timeout. Gosh, Corey, I'm surprised that Angela's not trying to hit some of these. And now that time,
7, 6.
Ying Lu. Angela doing a great job of moving these balls around. That ball barely came back on her side of net. That is some amazing spin. You can even see a great opportunity for Angela to try to get some offense going
Whatsoever, all match long.
But you know, Corey, that last miss, though she went off the side of the table, it just shows you the angles that she's forced to get. Oh, that was a kind of an ugly forehand there that really missed by quite a bit. So, while Angela played very well, and that was just textbook loop against chop play of keeping those serve returns low. And once again, serving to the elbow, waiting for... Oh, look at that placement and control by
Forehand, staying away from those pips. Without getting too technical about spins, the bottom left part of the ball, and then when it stays low here in Vegas, it's a nightmare, and I think it's a smarter play to attack more.
And Angela's doing everything within her power to get that ball out wide to the forehand so that angle just doesn't weak area on Angela Guan's forehand. That ball is just so spinny from me. That's a nice, just playing such a strong player, and then
one thing I really enjoy, like effortless, and they take effort, but it doesn't appear that it takes effort. They make it look like it's so easy.
to see how to play a chopper, watch the women's game. The amount, look at that. What a solid forehand drive to take game number 4. Guan out of position. See, that ball's up a little bit high. It's going to be very difficult to keep it low. Nice redirection there. You should just see
she's comfortable taking the ball to both sides of the table.
I mean, she's driving Angela's forehand right in that transition point there to see if any balls pop up to give her a chance. Oh, there's a nice backhand bump. And again, a controlled push by Ying Lu, and then a big forehand. It's just too much. And there's a timeout by Angela's mom.
And now that Ying Lu is attacking really wide to both sides, but trying to defend it, Angela's doing an unbelievable job.
With Ying Lu is that she'll just take some pace off of it. There's that nice spin right there, controlled ball right into the elbow. Almost chop that ball back. Oh, that's smart serve there. Angela
5-3, so that was a really big point.
You see Angela realizing she's really able to dictate Oh, beautiful shot by Angela. That forehand attack. But the problem that Angela had on that ball, she kind of in no man's land. And that's another nice forehand by Angela. Pretty clean. That ball is so loaded. Spin on the ball. Of course, she needs some help from her partner. But that loop, just too heavy to get nice and low. Ooh, a lucky break there for Guan. That was a really nice forehand chop out around. That ball's gone. And Angela with another. Oh, lucky break there.
This would be as big of an upset as Getty taking out Tim Wong.
Oh, and that forehand smash did not look firm.
You know what, Sean?
We're beginning to see what happens when the older players get extended. Look at that ball. That was a weak loop on that last one. It wasn't
punch anymore.
Right. Again, Angela with such great footwork, really covering the court so well. Oh, beautiful fading forehand there. Chopper.
I would tell her to push and keep pushing and try to get it into expedite. If I was this tired, that might be the only option, the ability to end the point, and the chopper is
waiting for you to make the mistake. But again, that's a much higher quality. Oh, that's such beautiful attack. Oh.
Wow. Loop to the forehand and off the kick.
As an extra friend. Also thinking that she might be a little bit more aggressive with her serves to force. Come in and go out, come in and go out, because that spin has, look at that. Another. Not a bad idea to get it out to the front. Ying Lu, after the amount of loops that she's done so far, the amount of spin is her loop. I mean, that's what Angela's been able to do, is just return it with the long pips. Oh, and that was a great return by both players.
The transition from Ying Lu.
Angela goes for an offensive shot. That gives Ying Lu that much more to work with versus having to start from kind of ground zero and keep lifting. Oh, nice forehand attack.
Is the one shot that's improved the most probably from Angela over the past year or so.
Oh, and that time Angela, she can attack. Oh, great recovery by Angela to get it back, but singles quarterfinal. And there you see the control to open. Oh, wow. What a shot! How she,
oh my goodness, game.
Angela really trying to serve. At that point, it's a full body shot. And she'll be, look at that, here comes the power. But unable to convert on the high.
She's 10% closer.
Just really keeping the ball low and wide.
Up with a net and outs that is just probably the difference between a tight arm and a loose arm.
I think Angela is still focusing on trying to just extend every rally to the maximum possible. You can see Yinglu has to really lift up after she loses loop, that Yinglu has to almost lift it up to get the pushback. And that was a monster forehand.
Pushing and soft looping isn't really cutting it.
Angela's just bringing everything back right now. Oh, again, the great inside.
And now she's playing so much into Angela's backhand corner that like that's the ball. That's the play that Yinglu is doing.
She finally makes that turn. Whereas chopping it to the forehand, Angela's jamming her in the backhand. Oh, Angela. Dead push.
Yep.
Dead chop. Yep. And it paid off. And she completely threaded that needle. And again, there's
so
the wide
wide
angle. It's of position when you see a player who plays solid against a chopper. Again, you see the advantage and the serve here in Game 7. Very strong paint advantage from the young Californian.
Huge point here.
You just see that ball jump off of Yinglu's racket on the push. Oh, what a great...
Here in Vegas. Chopper against looper.
And Angela Guan. Oh, a great top.
There's a funny jump off these tables sometimes.
And Angela Guan going right back to the forehand side of the table.
Angela was ready.
She guessed right on anything. Risky or offensive minded. She's going for the dead chop. That popped. Yinglu side. Oh,
wow,
what an angle
deuce.
forehand smash with the serve. Going with a strong serve and getting it out to the forehand. And now that ball catches the top of the net. Angela's got to get the ball out to the forehand side. And she does, and she's taken the match in the upset. Angela Guan takes out the #1 seed, Yinglu, 12-10 in the 7th.